All right, so next up here, or first up, we're going to do 27 to the negative 2/3. So remember that negative means that it's going to go down to the bottom here as our kind of first step. And since there's nothing really left up top, we're just going to throw a 1 up there. And then we know that this means the third root of 27 to the power of 2. So the denominator becomes the root and the numerator becomes the power. And so I know that the cube root of 27 is 3. So it's going to be 1 over 3 squared, so 1 over 9. All right, next up here, we're just going to simplify this. We're going to add all the coefficients. Now, there's only kind of one coefficient here. It's negative 5. So that doesn't have anything to multiply with. Now I'm going to add all the exponents. So for the x's, I got squared. This one's really a first power, and then this one's a third power. So 2 plus 1 plus 3 is obviously 6 for me. And then for the y's, I have 1 there, and then I have negative 3 back here. So that 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. And then for z, looks like I got 3 and 3, so that'll be z to the 6th. And then they're going to want me to move the negative exponents down to the bottom. And so I only have one negative exponent, and that is the y, so that's going to go down to the bottom. Notice that I did not move the 5 because it does not have a negative exponent as a negative coefficient. So got to think of that differently. All right, next up here, we're going to send this second power in, and it's going to multiply by all the exponents. And so this will be 1/2 to the negative second power, x to the negative 8th, and then y to the 8th. So for the negative second power here, this will become, you can kind of think of it as 1 to the negative second over 2 to the negative second. And so that'll be 2 squared over 1 squared. And so that'll be 4 over 1, and so that'll be 4. I'm going to keep the y to the 8th up here, and then we're going to move the x to the 8th down to the bottom. All right, next up here, we're going to send this exponent into the parentheses. So we got 64 to the 1/3, and then r to the 1/3, times 3 times r to the 1/2. All right, so I'm going to take care of, I can't really multiply these yet because I got to do this as the cube root of 64, which is 4. So then I can do 4 times 3, which is 12, so that's my coefficient. And then for the r's, I have to add their exponents. So we're going to do 1/3 plus 1/2. Obviously, that's going to require a common denominator. So I'm going to make this 2 out of 6 plus 3 out of 6 is 5 out of 6. So I got 12 times r to the 5 over 6 power. All right, for this one, I'll go ahead and do the bottom one here. You guys do the top one. So once again, this negative 1/2 is going to multiply by all the exponents inside. Just remind yourself that that number has an exponent of 1. So it's going to be 25 to the negative 1/2, s to the negative 3 over 2, t to the, let's see, that'll be negative 4 over 2, so that's just negative 2. And then on the bottom, we have s to the negative 1, and then t to the negative 9 over 4. So you just multiply all of those by negative 1/2. All right, next step, I would move all my negative exponents, which is pretty much everything. So on the bottom, I'm going to have 25 to the 1/2. I'm going to have s to the 3 over 2, t squared. On the top, I'm going to have s, and I'll have t, f to s to the first if you like, and then t to the 9 over 4. Okay, so first of all, I know that this is the square root of 25, so I can have that there as a 5. And then I got to do some battling here. So the battle of the s's, I got 3 over 2 on bottom and 1 on top. So we are going to subtract those. I always do the big one minus the small one. I made a common denominator there, so that'll be 1/2. And then the bigger one was on bottom, so that's where it's going to go. And then for the t's, it looks like the top has more there, so I'm going to put it up there. And I'll subtract this to see how many there are. So do a common denominator there. We get 1/4. So I would just leave my answer just like that. T to the 1/4 over 5, s to the 1/2. All right, next up here, we're just going to distribute this negative. And we get negative x squared minus 9x minus 5. It's going to change everything in there. And then we're just going to combine like terms to get our final answer. Oops, forgot my negative 2x. Okay, so you should kind of always do this in power order. So 6x to the 3rd doesn't have a like term, so I'll just list that. My x squareds, looks like I got positive 4 and negative 1, so that makes positive 3, x squared. My regular x's, I got negative 9 and negative 2, so that's negative 11x, and then minus 5. So just combining like terms there after you distribute the negative. All right, these next two are kind of a foil here. So I'm going to do number 8. It says use the special product property. You don't have to. I just like to go ahead and write this twice. And then I go ahead and foil it. So we get 9x squared, 3x, and 3x gives you 6x, and then plus 1. So that's your answer. On these next two problems, they actually, these are conjugates. And so for 9 and 10, conjugates are kind of the same thing, but one's positive, one's negative. And my trick for those is always to not foil, but fl. If you do the full foil, it will still give you the correct answer, but the fl is just a little quicker. And so I'll go and do number 10. And so if we do rad x times rad x, that's just a regular x. And then last times last is negative 25. So that'll just be x minus 25. All right, next up here, we're going to multiply these. I like to use a box for this. It's really kind of a double distribute, but I like the box to kind of organize all the information. So I do a 3x2 box. So the triple goes on top, and then the double goes on the side. So this will be 4x to the third minus x squared. I'm just multiplying to fill this out. And this will be 4x squared, negative x, and then 1. And then I just combine the like terms to write my answer. So I get 4x to the third. These two will combine to give me a 3x squared. These two will actually cancel out, and then this one will give me plus 1. So there you go. All right, this one is just asking you to distribute here. But what we got to remember is that if we have these two bases multiplying, that actually means add the exponents. So if the bases are multiplying, that means add the exponents. And so that's what we're going to do, since it's distributing means multiplication here. So I'm going to do 1 over 6 plus 17 over 6 for this exponent. It's going to be 18 over 6, which is really 3. So that'll be y to the third is my first term. And then I distribute it over there as well. And so that already has a common denominator. So it's going to be 30 over 6. So that'll be 5. So plus y to the fifth. All right, number 13 is actually similar to the previous one. I would actually rewrite this using the fractional exponents to make it easier. So I would call this one x to the 1/2, since that's the square root. And I would call this one x to the negative 1/2, since it's 1 over the square root. It's a square root on the bottom. So now I would go ahead and distribute this. And once again, we would add those exponents. So that becomes x to the 4 over 2. And if I add these exponents, it becomes x to the 2 over 2, because 3 over 2 minus 1/2. And I would just go ahead and simplify that to x squared minus x. All right, here, number 14, I see that these are conjugates, and so we can do the fl. And so if I do first times first, once again, remember we're going to be adding those exponents because the bases are multiplying. We add exponents, so 1/2 plus 1/2 is really just 1 whole. And then actually the same thing for the y's. And so this will just be x minus y. All right, now we're going to get into some factoring here, and so there's a lot of different techniques for factoring. So I'll show you my technique, but if you have a different one that works for you, that's fine. I've got a kind of a tough one here, so I'll do number 16. And so what I do is I make a little diamond. I do a times c up top, and so for this one, it would be, let's see, what is that? 15 times 8, so let's see, that's 30 times 4, so that's negative 120, and negative 14. All right, so now I need to kind of start thinking about what multiplies to make 120. So I know I got 2 and 60. I'm looking for a difference of 14 here. So I got 3 and 40. Not really close enough either. 4 would be 30. Still not close enough. 120 divided by 5 would be 24. I'm getting closer here. 120 divided by 6 would be 20. There we go. That's it. Okay. So let's see, that'll be a negative 20 and a positive 6. And so then what I do is I take those numbers and I use them to split up this middle piece right here. So I'm going to just rewrite the expression. So I have 8x squared and then minus 20x plus 6x, and then I bring down the minus 15 as well. So the first and the last term stay the same, and that middle term I break up according to the x. If you would have done that in the other order, breaking up the x, it's okay. It would have come out to the same final result. So now I use factoring by grouping. So I'm going to group these two together and those two together. The first group looks like I could take out a 4x, which leaves me with 2x minus 5. And the second group, I can take out just a positive 3, which leaves me with 2x minus 5 as well. That's good because it's supposed to come out to the same in both parentheses. So now you have 4x plus 3 is one of your factors, and then whatever was inside is your other factor. So there you go. All right, so then next up, number 18. So for this one, it's a special factoring formula. This is the difference of perfect squares, so that's just two small parentheses. We square root kind of everything, so 5a and 6 and 5a and 6, and then we have 1 plus and 1 minus. It doesn't matter the order. All right, these next two are perfect cubes here, and so these have a special factoring pattern as well. I know that this is really 1 cubed plus 9 cubed times y cubed. And so when I break this down, it's one small parenthesis and one big parenthesis. And the first parenthesis, I kind of just take away the cubes. So it's going to be 1 and then 9y. And then for this second parenthesis, I build that based off the first one. So I do the first thing times itself. So 1 times 1 is obviously 9. Or sorry, obviously 1. And then I do the first thing times the second thing. So that's 9y in the middle. And then the last thing times itself. So that's going to be 81y squared. And then lastly, we use a little trick. It's very popular called SOAP for the pluses and minuses. So that's same, opposite, and always positive. So since this one was a plus right here, it's going to be plus is the same, minus is opposite, and then obviously always positive. All right, so then number 20 is the same idea here. So it's going to be 3 to the third, s to the third, minus 5 to the third, t to the third. So for the small parenthesis, I just take away all the cubes. So it's going to be 3s and 5t. And then the big parenthesis, we do first thing times itself is 9s squared. First thing times second thing is 15st. And then last thing times itself is 25t squared. And then since this is a minus here, we're going to do same is minus, opposite is plus, and then obviously always positive. All right, next up, number 21. The kind of key on this one is that we do have a GCF, so you should take an x out before you start. And that'll be x squared plus 8x plus 16. And then you're going to go into the diamond like we did before. So I'll let you guys do that one. And then grouping here, we kind of already did this. So we'll do the grouping. The first group we can take out x squared, leaving you with x plus 4. The second group you can take out a positive 9, leaving you with x plus 4 as well. So we got x squared plus 9 and x plus 4. And then our last one here, again, some grouping, but I wanted to point out on this one, so the first group we can take out x squared, leaving you with 3x plus 1. The second group we have to take out something, so if it looks like you can't take out anything, take out a 1. And so this one will leave you with 3x plus 1 as well. So you got x squared plus 1 and 3x plus 1.